Welcome to Everything Co-op, bringing you information on how cooperatives can help improve your quality of life. This show is being sponsored by the National Co-op Bank, NCB. The NCB is dedicated to strengthening communities nationwide for the delivery of banking and financial services for the nation's cooperatives, their members, and other socially responsible organizations. For more information on the power of community ownership, visit ncb.coop. That's ncb.coop. Now stay tuned for your host, Vernon Oakes.
Good morning, everybody. This is Vernon Oakes, and the program is Everything Cooperative, and I am in Epps, Alabama at the 51st annual meeting of the Federation of Southern Co-ops. Federation of Southern Co-ops was founded in 1967 during the Civil Rights Movement, where basically black farmers got together and working together, they could get more done. They could pool their resources and accomplish a lot more. And Mr. Daniel Teague is our guest this morning. And Daniel, where are you from?
I'm from a little town in central Mississippi called Salis, Mississippi. And I grew up on a farm. I guess I've been around farming, me knowing that I was around farming since about 6 years old, when my daddy first took me out to the fields.
6 years old?
Mm-hmm.
That's a couple years ago.
That's a few years ago.
That's a few years ago. So, Daniel, you're from Mississippi. How long have you been involved with the Federation of Southern Co-ops?
My first encounter with them was around 2004, 2005. I had an opportunity to take a job with a state association of the Federation, which is Mississippi Association of Cooperatives based in Jackson. I took that job in 2007, and I've been a part of it ever since.
Okay, and what do you farm?
I farm vegetables, a variety of vegetables. I guess if you want to refer to the vegetables as enterprises, I farm collard green, mustard green, kale, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, tomatoes, watermelons, peppers, peas, okra. But my top seller has always been collard greens. I guess I put more time into growing the collards than any of it.
I think I want to follow you home, man. You name what I love. Okay. So why is collard your favorite? Or you spend the most time in the collard green?
Well, when you go in a grocery store and you go down the produce aisle, there are two things you're going to see before any other product, and that's usually bananas and leafy greens. Every produce store I've ever been in, their mainstay on the produce aisle is leafy greens and bananas. You're going to see those all the time when they're in season. And they always sell. And I've seen grocery stores, I guess, from Central Florida all the way to North Mississippi. And all of them got some bananas and they got some greens. So the greens was an easy choice for me because a gentleman moved right across the road from my farm, and I knew he operated a store in Kosciuszko, so I approached him to see if he would purchase some greens from me, and he said, I'll buy the whole field. So I said, well, Mr. Sims, I said, I want to sell the whole field. And I guess he was thinking I was going to go and bunch them up, but I was wanting to get them cut up and sell them to him like that, which I did. And Mr. Sims ended up telling me one day when I was selling them greens, he says, Daniel, I got another 14 stores. I said, okay. I said, I'd like to supply them. And I started moving greens in about 6 of the stores, and that was more than enough. I tried to go to 14, but I couldn't hold up at it.
Okay.
And I had to back off, and I started concentrating on the 6 stores that he initially told me to try to sell in. And that was over here in East Mississippi in Meridian, Canton. It was in Greenwood. And he had another store in Charleston and one in Winona. And that kept me busy for about 7 years. And my sons left, and it was just a little too much for Daniel.
For you to do it all by yourself. Huh?
I had to back up because good labor, that's a rare commodity in central Mississippi. Hard to find some good, sturdy labor. It just ain't there.
So what are some of the kinds of things the advantages for you being a member of the Federation? What are some of the kinds of things you get out of your membership?
Well, the Federation, when I first met Ben Burkett in Jackson, he talked about a co-op. And I took it back to Salis and talked to one of my school teachers in high school. And we got together. And in about 2 years, we had ended up forming a co-op. And then we got, chartered through the state and Mississippi Association. They come out and talk to us, and we joined the Federation. This was like 2006, 2007, and we've been members ever since.
Okay. So I heard you talk yesterday, and you said that in doing your college, somewhere you learned some ways of how you can produce more per acre or per row or per something.
Yes.
Did you get that out of the Federation, out of your membership?
Yes, I got it from Mr. Ben Burkett. He was the head guy at Mississippi Association of Cooperatives, and he informed me about a program that I guess the NRCS sponsored it, but I gained the knowledge from him of what the program was, which was the Small Farmer Initiative. And what they helped me do was they helped me get a deep well for irrigation, and I could irrigate my greens, which made a substantial difference.
So wait a minute, you learned from them how to create a well.
What I learned from the Federation was how to leverage the agencies at USDA. Mm-hmm. And the first agency I approached was the one called Natural Resource Conservation Service, NRCS. Mm-hmm. And that's who helped me with the well. They did a cost share. But the knowledge was gained through the Federation to know that NRCS was out there doing what they were doing. And that really changed the dynamics of what I was doing, because I went from producing about 1,000 pounds per acre to about 3,000 pounds per acre with the irrigation.
Wow.
Made a big, big difference. And I was very grateful for that knowledge. And then Mr. Burkett,
Brother Daniel, you say you got 3 times more productivity from an acre by having the irrigation. So I assume that's 3 times more money in your pocket.
Well, that's what every farmer,
that's
they want to increase the bottom line.
So, yeah, total grateful. All right. Same amount of work, more productivity.
Well, same amount of greens, same square footage of greens.
Right.
More profit per acre.
Got it.
A little more work, though.
A little more? Okay. I guess
you got to pick them a little more.
I got it. Picked in 3 times more. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But if you got the product, the thing is, if you got more product, you should be able to move more product.
Right.
And the thing that was really positive about it, Mr. Sim could absorb all that I grew. And that made my job a little easier.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I knew it wasn't a conventional way of marketing, but sometimes things just work out.
Yes. Yeah. So in the Federation, they told you about some of the programs at the Department of Agriculture, U.S. Department of Agriculture. You took advantage of that, so you were able to get cost share to get that well built, which means you had better irrigation so you can produce more.
Right.
Sound wonderful, man. Wonderful. Anything else you get out of the Federation or the members in the Federation?
Well, when we were initially trying to form our co-op in Attala County, the Mississippi Association, which is a part of the Federation, came out several visits to make sure that we were trying to implement a good, implementation. The foresight of the business plan. They helped in all aspects of what we were trying to do, which I think helped us become a better co-op, or members of the co-op
right.
work together. a good facilitator in that, in helping us get there as a group, and that was a plus. Sometimes it's hard for a group of people to work together.
Amen, brother. Amen. So the Federation through the Mississippi chapter helped you all form that cooperative, and so that you all could, I guess, work better together, know how to operate together, have your right bylaws, how to have meetings, and all of that.
Right.
Okay. And what was the function of the co-op in Mississippi? What was the purpose?
Well, we formed Italian County Self-Help Co-op. We formed around a group of cattle farmers, cattle ranchers, or whatever you want to call them. That's the way we formed. But now, I guess I always thought that if you didn't have access to the acres, that you can take a few seed and you can turn probably $2 worth of the seed into $2,000 easily. But you got to grow vegetables. Mm-hmm. It's got to be a horticulture aspect to it, because I know some tomato plants I've planted, and they produce 40 pounds of tomatoes to the plant. You think about it, if you put, I don't know, maybe 10 cents in 2 seeds, and you end up growing 40 pounds of tomatoes, then you can see the correlation between minimum input and more profit.
Yep. I wish farming was that easy, though.
No, it's not that easy. You gotta have some knowledge of farming. And I guess my father, I didn't like trying to farm, I guess, when I was 14, 15, 17, even 20 years old.
Right.
But the thing that he instilled in me was the work ethic and the knowledge of how to get the produce out the ground. And that proved invaluable when I came back and said, well, I'm going to try to grow this and try to sell it. And I had the knowledge of growing. Mm-hmm. I just needed to try to figure out how to market it. But I remember when I was in Milwaukee, too, I had the opportunity to attend some leadership seminars and different things. And I remember going to a class where they brought in Stephen Covey. And he had put a book out, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Right. And in that, they passed out another book, and it had in there guerrilla marketing. And when I approached Mr. Sims, I was on a direct basis, one-on-one, face-to-face, and that was how I first got started with my collard green market. And it proved out pretty much just like the Stephen Covey and the folks that was putting on that seminar in Milwaukee, too. It proved out.
Sir, Daniel, thank you so very much, buddy. Right. Thank you a lot. Everybody else out there, will get to the next person. Thank you, guys.
Washington, D.C.'s News Talk, 1450 AM WOL and 95.9 FM.
Information is power. Welcome back. This is Vernon Oakes with the program Everything Cooperative. I am in Epps, Alabama at the 51st annual meeting of the Federation of Southern Co-ops. And with me today is Shirley Cody. Good morning, Shirley.
Good morning.
So tell me, Shirley, where are you from?
I'm from Fort Gaines, Georgia, which is Clay County.
Okay. And how are you related to the Federation of Southern Co-ops?
Well, I joined the Federation because my father was once in the Federation, and I started attending the meetings with him. And when he passed away, we inherited my father's farm. And so I became a farmer.
Okay. Okay. What were you doing before you became a farmer?
Well, before then, my first career, I was a nurse, and later went back to school and got my degree in early childhood education.
From nurse to education to farming.
Yes.
Always nurturing something.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And so how has the Federation helped you in your farming?
Well, one of the things that I appreciate the Federation was to have a place that I could get training on how to properly operate a farm, how to plant, all the things that I needed technically to do a farm, especially being a woman in farm business. They were able to help me with all of the different trainings. When you first start farming, you need to know your soil. You need to know the properties that's in your soil, what your soil need, so that you could grow. And I had to learn the difference between your regular farming and your produce type farming, because there are different things that each one of those vegetables, they require certain nutrients in your soil for them to be productive. So I had to learn what to plant and when to plant it and what is needed for those plants to survive and to grow. And I wanted to grow the best.
All right. So what do you grow?
Well, right now, we just had a crop of collard greens, corn, tomatoes, kale, and we had white potatoes as well.
All right, I'm going to follow you home. From collards and kale.
Yes.
With some potatoes.
Yes.
All right, tomatoes and corn.
Yes.
Where do you sell to?
Right now, we started a small market. And what we did, since I left one thing out, I also have another career that was added to all the other careers. I'm also a minister. And so I use the platform.
You still nurturing?
Yes.
The spirit, the soul, the nursing, the education. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I use that platform for my market. The women, the elderly in my community, they don't know how to, well, they are too old to farm, to actually plant those vegetables. And those are the kind of things that they like to eat. So they were so excited that I would be able to provide them those different types of vegetables. And so when I did my very first selling of the plants and vegetables and everything, they say that mine was the best they had ever had. Mm. They said that remind them of when their parents grew. And it's because I don't believe in using your regular fertilizer. I like the natural type fertilizer for my plants. And because it really is better for your body and everything. So that's why I had to learn which would be the best things to do. And so I kind of like organic.
Okay. Okay.
So the elderly supports my market. They put in their order. And we have one day out of the month when they can come in and pick up their order. And so that has been my platform. And the business is growing because other community families have heard about it through their church. And so the word now is growing. So I'm going to have to expand my business because of my reputation for having a good quality vegetables. And so because of that, I will have to start expanding my growth, and especially coming up in the fall, because they are looking forward to all of the greens, not only the collards. I will have a big demand for turnips, the kale, and all of those greens that we can provide because of the season. And so that means that I will have to get busy, because the season is coming up on us, that we need to get those greens in the ground.
So it's not too late now?
Oh, no. This is perfect. Perfect time for those fall crops.
Oh, I guess in Georgia, back in West Virginia, if you hadn't planted them, You wouldn't get them by now, okay? Because it'll get ready to start getting cold in November, October, November.
Well, Georgia's a little better.
Yeah,
we have a larger window.
Okay, so how many acres do you farm?
4.
4 acres.
4.
And but you have to go to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 acres now with this demand?
Yes, but this is what I propose with the members that is joining my cooperative. I'm newly forming a cooperative, which is going to be called the Days Community Cooperative. I will have others that have land to become producers as well, and they will help me to keep up with the demand by using their land as a place to grow. So we're going to be encouraging those members to join and produce.
So the Days Community Cooperative will be farmers will be members of the co-op.
Yes, because
not the consumer, not the people buying it.
No, they will be producers.
Okay.
But they have the opportunity, though, to purchase if they would like, because, that's another way to make your cooperative grow, and you make money both ways as a producer and a consumer.
Does the Federation help you to develop the Days Community Cooperative?
Yes. We, Mr. Keith, Cornelius Keith, and Kathy Kendrick, they have been very supportive. They know my community, and they've been working with me over the years, and they have seen that the needs are growing. And Clay County is one of those unique counties. It's very few things that you can actually do there. Farming used to be one of the major things, but what happened, we lost a lot of farms because people moving away, going to other places to live, and a lot of property. We just lost thousands of acres to some families in Clay County. And it has hurt us because that was one of the things that we had as a resource.
And you're saying, you're talking about black people?
Yes.
Okay.
All of this. And in fact, my community is an all-black community. And my father and his friends and families, they developed that community. And we're trying to preserve it. We're trying to hold on to it. Even though they brought in the water system, which is called the George T. Bagby, large and park and everything, and they created a dam. And we thought that was going to be our window of opportunity for everything, for bringing in businesses and everything. But because they wanted total control and just to take over, we refused to let anybody get our property. And we're trying to hold on to it. And I'm trying to help my families to realize those are your resources. Mm-hmm. And you got to use what you have and to develop. That's right, those things, so that your children and other children down through the generations will have something to be proud of, because that was what my father taught me.
Not only be proud of owning land, but also that's a way of making money and sustaining self.
Yes, it is.
Where you're not dependent on the white man.
Yes, of course.
And I understand that when you say they were trying to get control, that's the white folks that created the dam.
Yes.
And then they
wanted
to get
did that, and they wanted to control everything. They wanted everything to be developed as far as what they wanted to implement. And they wanted our community because, see, we have already developed it. Okay. And the only thing now is just taking it to another level, letting them know we don't have to farm like our ancestors did. There are other opportunities. We still need those producers. We still need those people that can do farming like, our ancestors, but on a different level. Then have a market so that we can make money with those things. So one of the things I like about the Federation, they have helped us to look at what we have and how to take those things and develop them into jobs.
Right.
Creating jobs for people. Not only jobs, but then making money so that we can feed our families, because we have a new generation now. More young people being born in our area. At one time, it was big families, but they moved away. So now it's a new generation, and we got to find a way to entertain them and let them know farming is not like the old time of the way I grew up. See, I grew up having to pick cotton, okay. And I grew up having to shake those peanuts and pull that corn and pull the weeds out of the peanuts. But see, they were looking at that in a negative way, but you don't have to do that anymore. So we're going to capitalize on having the Federation to help us to educate our young people and letting them know that there are many possibilities. And with the youth programs and stuff like that, we want to try to incorporate that into our school system, because if we don't, we're going to lose a generation, and they're not going to know what's out there available for them, because this is their future, and
Amen.
They need to know.
Amen. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Ms. Shirley, thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody else out there, we'll get to the next person. Thank you, guys.
Washington, D.C.'s News Talk, 1450 AM WOS and 95.9 FM.
Information is power. Welcome back. This is Vernon Oakes with the program Everything Cooperative. I am going to be talking to Barbara Lang, known as Babs. She is from Texas, Liberty, Texas. Good morning, Barbara.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good.
How are you associated with the Federation of Southern Cooperatives?
I'm the executive director of an organization in Texas called the Landowners Association of Texas, and our association with the Federation is very, very widespread. We've been involved with the Federation for over 25 years.
Okay. It's about half the time the Federation's been in existence, because they celebrated 51 years. This is their 51st. So you've been 25 years of that.
Yeah,
time.
And we celebrated our 40th anniversary about 2 months ago.
So how many members do you have?
We have a total membership of the Landowners Association in 9 different chapters across Texas, approximately 1,000 members, and some of us are members of the Federation, individual members. Some of us are lifetime members, and of course the Landowner Association is an affiliate of the Federation.
So what do you learn at the Federation? Why are you a member of the Federation?
The Federation has what we call the kind of moxie that you need for agencies who are representing a lot of people in a very diverse area. The Federation serves the purpose to us to be the liaison, the link, the educator as it relates to most of the USDA programs. If I might just give you one little example.
Please do, please.
Recently, we worked on the development of a forestry program in a cooperative model. And Monica, who is the attorney for the Federation, came down, spent all kinds of times with us, worked at helping us to do a feasibility study, market study, and corresponded after returning to her office with us to the point that we officially wrote a proposal, a forestry proposal that we would not have been able to even attack. As a result, we got known by people in the endowment, the forestry endowment, and later being involved with members from the board, from the endowment board, which gave us an advocacy position with the endowment. This never would have happened without the Federation contacts that we have and the Federation's holding our hands through this process.
Well, Monica Range has been on the program, on Everything Co-op program. And by the way, when she was on, I got more calls than I have in any other given time.
Oh, great.
So, yeah, she is great. I really appreciate it, what she does, and sound like you do too.
Yes.
Any other examples of what the relationship between the Federation and you guys are?
The most exciting thing and the most exciting time that I can remember, and I have no idea how many years it was, but it was quite a few. The background for the Pickford lawsuit, we came here and talked in its infancy with the attorneys who took that all the way up to Washington, who successfully got all of the things necessary so that we could get, the Federation could get, and most of all, the farmers could get the resources that they had been cheated out of. We saw that through the completion and through the lawsuit coming to fruition. After that happened, we had a whole nother big piece to do.
But let me just, for people that don't know, what is the Pickford lawsuit?
We had a situation in the United States pre-50s, early 50s, where black people who owned land had been cheated out of an opportunity to do business because either they were denied bank loans or they were denied grants, and therefore they couldn't obtain the resources to buy seeds, fertilizer, farm equipment, and this kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Therefore, the Federation, involved with its series of hearings and technical support from a whole group of attorneys. I like to remember Attorney Laurie most of all.
Okay.
And they went to bat, and the lawsuit was won. It's called the Pickford lawsuit, so that individuals who were not able to do what they could have done with their farms were cheated from that opportunity.
And I would think that the individual farmers could not have had the wherewithal, the finances, to go fight the government.
They wouldn't even had the knowledge, the inclination that was even possible. Without Big Brother, the Federation, and the attorneys retained by the Federation to be able to embark on such a piece. This is what I mean. They walk with us, they hold our hands through situations, and they have so many specialists like Monica and Cornelius and, of course, Ralph and many others that we've worked with. We never could capture that kind of expertise or that kind of talent. So that in itself made it possible for us to be able to help many, many farmers who were able to go back several years, many, many years, and document the fact that they, in fact, had not been able to do the farming that they could possibly have done had they had the resources to buy seeds.
And so USDA or other government entities were helping white farmers, but they weren't helping black farmers.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay.
You could lose your farm. As a matter of fact, our excitement related to the Federation, Landowners Association, that is, our whole mission is to work towards the goal of acquisition of land, retention of land, and development of land. And most of all, where is the wealth that can come from the land? Right. And that is so consistent with the Federation. And most of all, both of us are in the situation where we do not want to see another black person's land on the courthouse steps at the auction.
Right. Yeah, Cornelius was on the show, and Monica both said that there was something like in 1910, if my memory goes right, black farmers had 30 million acres of land, and right now there's less than 3 million acres of land.
Absolutely. So that just shows you, even with the last census, how fast our land is winding up on the courthouse steps. And that has a lot to do with people moving to New York, abandoning, not paying taxes, and this kind of thing. So I guess what I'm saying to you, we have the Pickford settlement. We did a lot of things, but the Federation's job is not over with. And we look forward to be able to work with them in many other capacities that will keep people's land off the courthouse step and generate wealth for the farmers who are trying very hard to make this a productive activity and support their families.
So how do you create wealth? You got a group of people, both Texas and your group, and then in the Federation, they're representing 13 states. So you have all of these different people that have land, want to farm, or don't know how to farm, and they come to the Federation as a group. So they create this cooperative.
Right.
And as a group, they learn. That's the fifth principle of cooperation: education, knowledge, and information.
Right.
Constant learning. Okay.
Well, I would like to use another little analogy. The Federation helps us with what I like to call the 5 Ps, and that is prior preparation prevents poor performance.
Wait. Say that again for me.
Prior preparation prevents poor performance.
All right.
Therefore, if you don't know what NRCS has for you, you haven't prepared yourself. If you don't know what FSA has for you, if you don't know anything about USDA, then you're apt to fail. But if you do know, you will be able to retain your land, to do something productive, to have a product, to survive, and not only survive, but to realize wealth for the use of your land, through the use of your land, just like many, many, many other individuals in our society. White people know it so well, and they've got it down so well. We need extra special help because we're still thinking that land and working land may have something to do with slavery. And so we get despondent and we get disgusted and we don't want to deal with the land. Therefore, the 5 Ps kicks in, and that's what we both have to work so hard, that our people are prepared and that they do it prior to going to the table, and they will not fail. And so I would say that we help each other through doing the prior preparation to avoid poor performance.
So with the preparation, you get good performance.
Absolutely.
You get success.
Absolutely.
You create assets. You create wealth.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay.
For yourself, for your family, for your children and grandchildren, and on down.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We are steadily trying to make farming as sexy as any other professional or any other career, so that we can see that farming or dealing with ranching is a career, is something related to production, something related to wealth, and is not a hobby.
Not a hobby. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
We got to take a final break, but we'll be right back. And please don't touch that down.
Washington, D.C.'s News Talk, 1450 AM WOS and 95.9 FM.
Information is power. Welcome back. This is Vernon Oakes with the program Everything
Cooperative. I am in Epps, Alabama at the Federation of Southern Co-ops 51st annual meeting. And the sun has gone down and it's dark down here, but I've got the chance to interview a couple young people, Shanice Turner with Emmanuel Laidlaw Holly and Daniel Rosebud, he goes by Rosebud, from the Opportunity Youth United. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Thank you for having us here.
Thank you so much.
All right. Shanice, what is your organization? What do you do?
So with OYU, we're called Opportunity Youth United, and we are one of the co-founders for organizations, and we have our goal for connecting 1 million youth.
Connecting 1 million youth to do what?
To do job trainings, to careers, to opportunities, to doing something to put matters into the workforce. It's unfortunate that so many young people are unemployed or not in school or just sitting there. But Opportunity Youth, which means young people between the ages of 16 and 24 who need work, who need help. So we have sponsoring organizations who come from Year Up and City Year and Public Allies and the Conservation Course as well to help us put together this caucus, what is called Opportunity Youth. We are located everywhere from Atlanta to Chicago to LA to New York and Boston.
So is this a co-op?
It's more like a collective impact of groups coming together to solve an issue.
Well, that sounds like what co-ops do, but I got it. It's not a co-op, but it's a collaboration. And Mr. Rosebud.
Yes.
What do you do?
I sit locally. I'm also a national member.
When you say locally, what local?
So when Shanice explains that we're a group of people that work collaboratively, it starts nationally, but the hopes is that that work trickles down to our local organization that also kind of like push the work.
But
so
where are you? What part of the world? What part of the
Atlanta, Georgia.
So you are okay.
Yeah, out of the Southeast. Hosted by United Way as the youth council. I sit there and I'm the head of quality assurance for them, for our group, for our
quality assurance.
Quality assurance, quality control. So our work within the state of Georgia is to assist 13 counties in capacity building. Within that work, we tool the CBOs, which are community-based organizations, nonprofits that offer youth services to 18 to 24-year-olds. And through that tooling, we look to give them data tools that collect information, help them better communicate what their results are to federal government, gaining more funding, or even just better communicating the services that they're offering to youth. So when I say quality control or quality assurance, we're looking to make sure that the data that is being gathered by organizations are appropriate, like it's useful data. Numbers of students that are being affected, numbers of students that are disconnected. How do we better the orientation process? How do we implement better pathways to better assist this group of 18 to 24-year-olds connect to work and school? So ensuring that there's quality in that intake process, quality in that orientation process, quality in the community partners that are connected to the work and that are connecting the youth, it would be my space.
So you're doing quality control in everything that you guys are doing locally in Atlanta or nationally?
Locally for 4 to 13 counties. So we're just starting. So some of that work hasn't taken place yet, but yes, locally.
And Shanice, where are you working out of? What part of the world do you work out of?
I do both local work with the United Way Community Action Team and national with Opportunities United, known as OYU.
So what's your local address? Where are you?
So my local means I am.
Are you in Atlanta too? Is what I'm trying to get to.
Oh, Atlanta, yes.
You're in Atlanta?
Yes.
You're in Atlanta. Do you all go to school, or have you graduated from college, or?
Yes, we Rosebud and I both graduated from a program called Year Up, which is a 1-year IT training program that teaches young people, known as Opportunity Youth, about IT, building computers, public speaking, business management, and how do you sell your own brand. You go on internship or training for 6 months in a classroom setting, and then for the next 6 months, you're placed on an internship based on the track that you went into. The track can be program management, it can be IT, or it could be software or hardware as well. And then you're placed on an internship based on that track. You sometimes even graduate with a career as well, and most likely a certification and a diploma and a certificate of completion, as well as 21 college credits as well.
Okay.
I like to call that an apprenticeship just because we're paid during that portion. And I think that the organization calls it an internship, but just to make that statement. Apprenticeship meaning that most of our time at the organization, we're working parts of that organization once we're placed with the company, and then we're compensated for that time. So what were you going to say? You had
No. So you get this apprenticeship, internship, you get a degree, certificate, and then you get a job. And then you go help other people do similar kinds of things, but basically how to get a job.
Essentially, yeah. So when you think about the work nationally and even locally, we're trying to reconnect a group of, or what we call a group of much needed people, right? 18 to 24-year-olds. So whether they're not in school or at work, but at the end of the day, a job is the result that we're looking for. And when you think about that job, you ask yourself, well, once a young adult is on a job, how do they sustain it? So that kind of brings up the question about education, the question about the quality of education. That asks you questions about the community. So essentially, yes, the program that we were involved in kind of tackled all edges, but the result was sought to have a job for employment at the end of the day.
Do you have a sense of how many young people you all have helped already? Your goal is 1 million. That's a big, lofty goal.
Yeah.
I love it, but how you doing?
Well, that's a national goal.
Okay.
And she's speaking from a national standpoint when she says 1 million. For a local standpoint, it's a little bit different sitting on the council because we're not always directly connecting the youth from our position with United Way. With United Way being a technical organization and them housing us, there's a couple of political issues, or not necessarily political issues, but some liabilities that they try to steer away from. So we're unable to do the direct work in that way. So we advise policy and standard. When I say that, even when I'm talking about being over quality control or anything like that, I'm not the person going in to perform the quality control. I'm the guy creating the data collection tools and drawing out the loop, what they call a quality loop, the feedback loop, to get the information in. We would affect that number would be a little bit different.
So if there are some young people that might be listening to this program, want to find out how can they get into this loop to help, for somebody to help them find a job, how would they go about doing that?
What loop? I want to make sure that we're
if
clearly
somebody
talking
says,
about
I'm looking for a job, you guys are helping people find jobs, how do they reach out to you?
They don't reach out to us. Our goal is to better the organizations that are already doing the work.
So they would
to
reach
increase
out
their connectivity.
So they would reach out to different, like, United Way places, or
if they want to learn more about what we're doing, OYU always do job postings in different cities. You can text OYU, and I say OYU, to 22828, and you'll receive a newsletter, and you'll be able to sign up with us to bridge our goal to the connecting 1 million youth to opportunities. And there's always job postings such as being a civic liaison or doing other events. Like how we're here in Birmingham is because of OYU and the connection with United Way, being a community action team, wanting their local Atlanta young people here to be a great representation, but also to bring back the resources and information from Birmingham and bring it to Atlanta.
So give me that web page or telephone number again. You said that a little quick for me.
Okay.
What was it?
OYU. Yes.
OYU.
Text OYU to 22828.
That's the part I didn't get.
Yes, you can always visit our website at oyuunited.org.
Okay, so text.
Yes.
22828.
Yes.
Or web page is oyuunited.org.
Yes, and it's 1 U in United. So it's like the U and the United is together.
NITE.
Yes.
Okay. oyuunited.org.
That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So if there's a young person out there would like to get connected to other youth that are looking for how they can get jobs, how you can better yourself. These two young people are very articulate and have a lot of self-confidence, which is I'm totally impressed with. You can text 22828 or go online to oyuunited.org to get information in whatever part of the U.S. you might be at, or for that matter, wherever part of the world. But they're looking to help 1 million young folk get jobs between 16 and 24.
Yes.
The opportunity youth demographic is actually 16 to 24, but we focus primarily on 18 to 24 because that's an age where you can get a technical job. So while you're ending a program or what we call a pathway, we can ensure that you're of age and now you're actually tooled and you have the skill to get the job. But the movement is for 16 to 24-year-olds because those are transitional periods and ages where people are disconnected from work and or school.
Listen, I want to thank you guys very much for sharing this information with us.
Thank you. It's our pleasure.
Everybody out there, please have a wonderful, wonderful week and live cooperatively.
Washington, D.C.'s News Talk, 1450 AM WOS and 95.9 FM.